the psychology of people who can feel when someone's energy changes. They do not need someone to say anything. They can feel it. The room may look the same. The conversation may sound normal. The person may still be smiling. Nothing obvious has happened. But something has shifted. The tone is a little different. The eye contact is a little shorter. The replies are a little colder. The silence feels heavier than before. And while everyone else continues like nothing changed, this person's nervous system has already noticed. They think, something is different. Did I do something wrong? Are they upset? Are they pulling away? To other people, this may look like overthinking. It may look like being too sensitive. It may look like reading too much into small things. But for some people, sensing energy changes is not imagination. It is pattern recognition. It is emotional memory. It is a nervous system that learned to listen to what people were not saying. Because somewhere in their life, words were not always reliable. Maybe someone said, "I'm fine," but their mood filled the whole room. Maybe someone smiled, but their anger was hiding underneath. Maybe someone acted calm, but the air around them felt unsafe. Maybe love, attention, or approval could suddenly disappear without warning. So the person learned to notice tiny changes before they became bigger problems. They learned to read a sigh, a pause, a different tone, a shorter message, a face that looked almost normal but not completely. And over time, this became automatic. They do not decide to scan the room. They just do. They do not decide to feel someone's emotional distance. Their body feels it before their mind can explain it. This is why they may notice when someone enters the room with different energy. Even if that person says nothing, their shoulders are tighter. Their voice has less warmth. Their answers feel rushed. Their presence feels closed. And suddenly, the person who senses energy changes begins searching for the reason. They replay the last conversation. They remember what they said. They check their own behavior. They wonder if they were too much, too quiet, too honest, too emotional, too needy. Because when you grow up believing that someone's mood can become your responsibility, another person's energy shift can feel personal, can feel like a warning. Not because it always is, but because your body remembers when it was. This is the painful part. People who feel energy changes are often not just noticing others. They are trying to stay safe. They are trying to predict rejection before it happens. They are trying to fix distance before it becomes abandonment. They are trying to understand silence before it turns into punishment. And sometimes they become very good at it. They can tell when someone is pretending to be okay. They can feel when a conversation loses warmth. They can sense when someone's attention has moved away. They can walk into a room and immediately know whether the atmosphere is peaceful or tense. This sensitivity can make them deeply empathetic. They may comfort people before those people ask for help. They may notice sadness behind a smile. They may understand emotional pain that others miss. They may make people feel seen in quiet, powerful ways. But the same sensitivity can also exhaust them. Because they are not only living in their own emotional world. They are constantly feeling the emotional temperature of everyone around them. A small change in someone's mood can affect their whole body. A dry reply can ruin their day. A strange silence can make their chest tighten. A shift in energy can make them feel like they have to do something immediately. Apologize, fix, explain, withdraw, prepare for loss. And often, they do this before they even know what is really happening. Because the brain does not always say, someone's energy changed. Sometimes it says, you are in danger. But here is something important. Not every shift is about you. Someone can become quiet because they are tired. Someone can seem distant because they are stressed. Someone can reply differently because their mind is full. Someone can carry heavy energy because of something that happened before they even saw you. And your sensitivity may notice the change correctly. But your fear may explain it incorrectly. This is where healing begins. Not by forcing yourself to stop noticing. You may always be someone who feels subtle things. Healing is learning to pause before making the energy shift your fault. It is learning to say, I can feel that something changed, but I do not know what it means yet. It is learning to separate observation from conclusion. Observation says, their tone feels different. Fear says, they are mad at me. Observation says, they are quieter today. Fear says, they are leaving. Observation says, the energy feels heavy. Fear says, I must fix it. But you do not have to turn every feeling into a responsibility. You can notice someone's energy without carrying it. You can sense tension without becoming the solution. You can feel distance without chasing closeness. You can care without abandoning yourself. Because sometimes the safest thing you can do is ask directly, are you okay? You seem a little different today. And then allow their answer to belong to them. If they say they are tired, let it be tired. If they say they need space, let it be space. If they say it is not about you, practice believing that possibility. Not every emotional shift is a secret message. Not every silence is rejection. Not every change in energy means love is disappearing. Sometimes people are just human, changing, processing, carrying things, moving through moods they do not know how to explain. You are not responsible for monitoring every room. You are not responsible for decoding every face. You are not responsible for keeping everyone emotionally balanced. Maybe you became sensitive because you had to. Maybe you learned to read energy because it once protected you. But now you can learn something new. You can feel the shift and still stay grounded. You can notice the change and still breathe. You can care about someone's mood without losing yourself inside it. Because your gift is not the problem. Your sensitivity is not the enemy. The pain begins when you use that sensitivity against yourself. When every change becomes proof that you are unwanted. When every quiet moment becomes a threat. When every emotional shift becomes something you must solve. So the next time you feel someone's energy change, try this. Pause. Feel your feet on the ground. Take one slow breath. Remind yourself, I am noticing something. I am not in danger yet. You do not have to panic. You do not have to chase. You do not have to apologize for something you have not done. You can simply observe. And if clarity is needed, you can ask. Because peace does not come from never sensing energy changes. Peace comes from knowing that even when someone's energy changes, you are still safe inside yourself.